I just want to share a small story with you, small, real story. You know, my mother, Helen. My mother's name is, before marriage, Helen Dicuna. Then became Helen Macedo. Then when she married, second husband, Helen Pinto. Bindo. It's always me. Pinto, Gandik, Chimto. Bindom. Like Arabs used to say Bindo. B-I-N-D-O. Bindo. I sometimes used to tease my brother. Hey Pinto, how's your Pinty? So anyway, my mother, Hell N. Go to hell in. Hell in. She'll give you hell. Strong woman. Incredible woman. I'll tell you. She's a fighter. My mom has always been a fighter. My mom has always been a very enterprising woman. My mother has always been a tough woman. Hi doggy. Hey doggy, you're still outside. Doggy. Doggy. I don't know where these people are gone. This dog is outside. So, what I was telling you was, my mother, a very enterprising woman, very restless. She had ADHD, but incredible woman who did a lot of things which nobody could imagine. Always wanted to work, more jobs, earn more money, take risks. So there were some really incredible things that my mother was really good at. And talking, oh my goodness. She was this typical, even though she was born in Mangalore, she was, the Bombay type female. Bombay females can fucking talk the socks off anyone. So a tough woman. And just imagine a woman who, without any hi-fi education, without any guidance, literally, learned and taught herself so many skills. Like, you remember in the 80s, there was Jane Fonda's workout. Jane Fonda's workout. So my mother used to watch Jane Fonda's workout and teach exercise. She used to watch Jane Fonda and teach other people. She used to teach these Arab sheikhs. She taught herself Arabic. She didn't know how to put makeup. She taught herself how to put makeup, and then she became a beautician. She used to literally practice makeup on my face. Even waxing, waxing. She used to make wax in the house and wax my face those days when I had a rough beard. Just imagine how horrific. I used to endure that pain at the age of 16. My beard used to come long like this. I didn't know personal grooming. So she used to put and wax, and blood used to come out because it used to tear into my baby skin. So, done all that bullshit. Okay. Minus all the drawbacks that she had. But she was an enterprising woman. However, with all the money, I'll tell you, in the 80s, by the time she was in her 30s or 40s, she had 3 houses or 4 houses in Mumbai, Bombay, that's what they called it. 3-4 properties. She had money, investments, everything. And she used to save and invest. However, like they say, sometimes success goes to your head. This is where she made a big mistake. And the 80s, she was the right person at the right time. She was in the Middle East when it was just booming. So anything you did would turn to gold. And in that boom phase, any brainless idiot could just join and make money. That is why you have so many Keralites, South Indians, Pakistanis with substandard skills. They were able to build a house, make so much money, and climb the ranks of the corporate world. You didn't need skill. You just needed luck. And all those people in the 70s and 80s who joined made shitloads of money. You just needed to be slightly smart. And when you factor in a booming market, virgin territory, and being the right person at the right time, you'd make millions. Competition is not what it used to be like today. Like the people who purchased Bitcoin at the right time, the people who invested in the properties at the right time. When it shot up, they made millions. So this period of make money when the sun shines, or make hay when the sun shines, extended for 10 to 20 years. So my mother was one of them who made that kind of money. Sadly, she believed this was not because of luck. She believed because she was smart and intelligent. And this kind of bias that she had, that she was super smart, super intelligent, super enterprising, super everything, went to her head. And when you get overconfident, overly confident, when you experience luck at a young age, it can lead to some really bad decisions. And my mother made one decision after another, and it's like gambling, You put money, you lose, but then you win. You put money, you lose, then you win. And the only thing you remember is the times when you won, not the times when you lost. And when you keep at it, going on and on, eventually, one fine day, you lose everything. That's how gambling works. That's how these casinos work. They give you money to win so that you put more money and then you lose. And you win, then you put... Eventually, the house always wins. Eventually, you lose everything. So my mother kept at it. Few successes, many losses. Few successes, many losses. Until one day, her luck completely ran out. We end up taking bigger and bolder risks. Until one day, you just can't come back from that loss. That is why my mother, who made her, not millions, I would say that she was very, very well off. By today's standards, the houses that she had, the properties that she had, would easily be worth millions, easily. However, instead of being worth millions, my mother ended up being minus millions, minus. From being overly confident to believing in gods, to believing in astrology, to being overly confident, and the biggest mistake of all, believing that my younger brother was smart, super smart, ultra smart. That because these pundits and these astrologers told her he is going to be the next multi-millionaire for you, and they could literally read it in her face that she didn't believe in me. I'm not saying that if she believed in me, she would have made millions. Either of us, if she believed in and she put all our money for whatever we would do, the chances of her losing would be equally great. However, my brother and I had almost, I think, 10 years or 8 years difference. So he being a kid, me being the street smart, this guy with at least 10 years experience over him, the chances of them losing money through me would have been lesser. But I can tell you, my impulsiveness, my immaturity would have destroyed them. So we could say me and my brother were more or less the same, on the same boat. So with all these decisions that she took, she ended up with nothing. And today, minus 1 million, living on the mercy of my stepbrother, who's taking care of them, and other well-wishers in the family. She is now broken at the age of 60 plus. So what is the reason I shared this with you? The reason I shared this example with you is not to bitch and moan or to portray my mother in a bad light. What you did, you shall reap. What you sow, you shall reap. So if she did good, she'll get good. If she did bad, she'll get bad. Not like in karma, but rather in terms of the actions and results that you get. But the most important thing that I want to tell you through this video is, when my mother was rich and successful, she was overly confident, she was sometimes ruthless, and she did a lot of bad things. Okay? A lot of bad things to people without she even thinking or considering that one day, not that it'll get back to you, but one day, you know, you will lose that position of power. She never thought about it, she never considered. In fact, some of the people who she tried to destroy, fortunately, unfortunately, they ended up trying to help her. I think that is what keeps me grounded. Today, I'm enjoying a kind of a fame, commercial success, a financial success, certain blessings. I really don't take it for granted. I keep myself grounded because I remind myself, just like my own mother, maybe tomorrow I might lose everything. Just like my mother, maybe tomorrow I might go through tough times. I don't expect anyone to help me. I know that nobody will. But it keeps me grounded to make me realize today days are good. Maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe I'm just the right guy at the right place at the right time. Maybe after a few years, this luck will run out. And that is why I never let success go to my head. I never let myself feel, oh, I'm invincible, I'm this, I'm that. And that's the same thing I tell other people. Don't think you're too invincible. Don't think no end of yourself. One day you'll fall sick. One day you'll get old. One day luck will run out. One day you'll make a mistake. And one day you'll no longer be the dynamic, amazing, smart, lucky person that you were. And that is the last day where you'll enjoy the position of power. So I'm not saying that be humble and be this, be that. All I'm saying is remind yourself that the day your bad days come, or the day your good luck runs out, or if neither of both, the day you become old, you will have to look back and account for all this. My mother is a constant reminder for me to stay grounded, if not humble, to stay grounded. And that is why I'm always afraid. I'm always scared. And I always tell myself, if it happened to her, it can happen to you. So just be prepared. And that's why I'm trying to be a better father, a better husband, a better human being generally. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to learn through the mistakes of others. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I hope this added some insight and value to you. I would say best example, look at your own parents and see how they were when they were young, how they were in the middle of their age, and how they are now. That is assuming you have become a grown person and they are old. And let that keep you grounded, because they say, no, every dog has his day. Your day will also come. Alright? I hope this video added some insight and value. Let me know your thoughts. This is me signing off. You guys take care.